What if your next cappuccino didn't come from a coffee shop or a drive-thru, but from your own kitchen, made by you, using simple ingredients and tools you already have? It might sound impossible, especially if you've always seen cappuccinos as something only baristas can pull off with those fancy machines and milk steamers. But the truth is, making a creamy, café-style cappuccino at home is not only possible, it's easier than you think. And once you learn how to do it, you might never go back to overpriced coffee again. Most people overcomplicate the idea of cappuccino. They imagine complicated steps, expensive equipment, and special skills. But at its core, a cappuccino is made of just 3 things: coffee, milk, and hot water. That's it. No secret powders. No strange tools. And definitely no need for a $1,000 espresso machine. In fact, everything you need is probably already sitting in your kitchen. Now, before we jump into how it's done, let's clear up a common question. What even makes a cappuccino different from a latte or a regular coffee? The answer lies in the foam. A cappuccino is typically made with equal parts espresso, steamed milk, and milk foam. That thick, creamy layer on top? That's what gives cappuccino its signature taste and feel, richer and bolder than a latte, with just the right balance of strong coffee and smooth milk. But how do you get that foamy top without a professional milk frother? The good news is, there are simple tricks that work surprisingly well. One of the easiest methods is using a regular jar with a lid. You pour in some warm milk, seal the lid, and shake it like crazy for 30 seconds. Then pop it in the microwave for another 30 seconds to stabilize the foam. It may sound a little too good to be true, but it works. You can also use a French press or a small whisk if you prefer. Either way, you'll end up with a creamy foam that's just right for topping off your coffee. Now, what about the coffee itself? Do you absolutely need espresso to make it taste right? Ideally, yes. Espresso gives you that rich, concentrated flavor cappuccinos are known for. But not everyone has access to espresso machines. That's where high-quality instant coffee comes in. When used correctly, it can give you a similar bold flavor. Just use about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of instant coffee for every shot you want to make, and dissolve it well in hot, not boiling, water. That keeps the flavor smooth and balanced, not bitter. So how long does the whole process take? You might be surprised to hear it only takes around 5 minutes from start to finish. That includes heating the milk, preparing the coffee, frothing the foam, and putting it all together. In fact, by the time you'd normally still be standing in line at a cafe, you could already be sipping a cappuccino from your couch. And if you don't drink regular milk, don't worry. Plant-based options can work too. Oat milk is especially great because it froths well and has a naturally creamy texture. Almond milk and soy milk can also be used, but you'll get the best results if you use barista-style blends. They're made to hold foam better. Just make sure whatever milk you use is warmed up before you try to froth it. Now, here's the big question most people have. Does it actually taste like a coffee shop cappuccino? The answer is yes, if you follow the right steps. The right ratio of coffee to milk, the right foam texture, and a careful pour can give you a result that's surprisingly close to what you'd get from your favorite cafe. And what's even better is that you control everything: the sweetness, the strength, the size. You can make it exactly how you like it. Some people worry they won't be able to pull it off because they've never made a fancy drink before. But the beauty of this recipe is that it's made for beginners. Even if you've never tried making coffee before, this method is simple enough to get great results on the first try. And if it's not perfect, that's okay too. It will still taste good, and the next time, you'll get even closer. So let's go back to that first question. Can you really make a cappuccino at home? Yes. Not only can you make it, you can make it fast, cheap, and exactly how you like it. Once you try it, there's a good chance you'll never look at your morning routine the same way again. You don't need a barista. You don't need a machine. You just need a cup, a spoon, and a few minutes. And the best part? Every sip feels earned, because you made it. Let's start with the basics. A classic cappuccino is made of 3 equal parts: strong coffee or espresso, steamed milk, and a thick layer of milk foam on top. That combination creates a bold yet balanced flavor, rich and smooth in every sip. It's a drink that feels luxurious, but making it doesn't have to be. You might be surprised to learn that everything you need is likely already in your kitchen. For this recipe, you'll need instant coffee or strong brewed coffee, milk of your choice, hot water, and a way to froth the milk. That could be a spoon, a whisk, or even just a clean jar with a lid. Nothing high-tech. No espresso machine. No frother. Just basic tools and a few minutes of your time. To begin, make your coffee base. If you have espresso, great, use a shot of it. But if not, dissolve about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of instant coffee in hot water. Stir well until it's completely smooth. The water should be hot but not boiling, to keep the flavor rich without bitterness. If you like your cappuccino sweet, feel free to stir in some sugar at this point. Some people add it now, others prefer to sweeten it after everything's combined. It's entirely up to your taste. Next, let's talk about the milk. This is where a lot of people get stuck, thinking they need a steam wand or some sort of special frother. But here's a simple trick that works surprisingly well. Pour about half a cup of milk into a clean jar, leaving some space at the top for the foam to form. Seal the lid tightly, then shake it, hard, for about 30 seconds. You'll feel the milk getting thicker, and you'll see bubbles forming at the top. That's your foam starting to build. After shaking, remove the lid and microwave the jar for about 30 seconds. This warms the milk and helps set the foam. If you don't have a jar, you can whisk the milk quickly in a bowl or use a French press by pumping the plunger up and down. The goal is to create a thick, creamy foam that can hold its shape. Once your milk is ready, it's time to put it all together. Start by pouring the coffee into your favorite mug. Then slowly add the warm milk, tilting the mug slightly to mix it evenly. Hold back the foam with a spoon while pouring, then gently layer the foam on top. Spoon it carefully, letting it sit high and fluffy like a cloud resting on your drink. And just like that, you've made a cappuccino, at home, with no machine, no hassle, and no lines to wait in. You've recreated that perfect cafe moment with nothing more than a few kitchen basics and a little know-how. If you want to level it up, try adding a sprinkle of cinnamon, cocoa powder, or even nutmeg on top. It adds a warm aroma and a little extra charm. If you're dairy-free, oat milk is your best bet for frothing. It gives you a thick, creamy foam that rivals regular milk. Almond and soy milk can work too, especially if you use barista-style versions made for foaming. Some people wonder if a homemade cappuccino can really match what you get at a coffee shop. The answer? Yes, absolutely. In fact, many people find they prefer the homemade version because they can control the strength, sweetness, and texture. You can make it bold and strong, light and frothy, or somewhere in between. You get to make it just the way you like it. And the best part? It takes less than 5 minutes. That's quicker than standing in line or waiting for your name to be called. Plus, it costs a fraction of what you'd pay at a cafe. With a little practice, you can turn any morning into a coffee shop experience, without ever leaving your home. So the next time you're craving a cappuccino, skip the coffee run. Go to your kitchen. Pull out a jar, your favorite mug, and some milk. Brew, froth, pour, and enjoy. It's simple. It's satisfying. And once you try it, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. If this inspired you to make your own cappuccino at home, let us know in the comments what worked for you, what milk you used, or how you made it your own. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another easy recipe or kitchen hack. One small click helps this channel grow and gives you more great content straight to your screen. Now go enjoy your homemade cappuccino. You've earned it.